Hey y'all, what's going on? It's Barb Meets World. We are back again with a new season of The Real Housewives of Potomac. It is season 9, episode 1, the premiere episode, a crash course in deflection. And we're here. We're here, y'all. And I'm a little annoyed right now. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a little annoyed because I was just up here bumping my gums for like, I don't know how long, like 20 minutes. And my sound was not sounding. And yeah, so I'm a bit annoyed by that. So we got to start over. It's definitely not y'all's fault. My sound, I don't know, like StreamYard sound like has just not been my friend lately. Nonetheless, though, I'm glad you're here. Kevin, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you shout out to you for letting me know that you couldn't hear me. Yes, like 24 minutes to be exact, probably. And I am just so irritated because I don't even remember what I was saying, but I know it was some good stuff. So let's try to get the energy back up and re-jump into this. And I feel like this is just punishment because for a while I was just doing a lot of pre-recorded videos and I wasn't even doing a lot of lives. So I feel like it's just like the software is trying to strike me down and not let me be great because freaking not let me be great because I wasn't doing lives for forever. But nonetheless, yes, I hate it for me too. Absolutely. All the things. But yeah, let's jump back into it because yeah, let's get into it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share me, all the things. And yeah, let's go. So yeah, y'all, this episode, I am impressed. And I thought I would never say that. We do know, for a lot of us, I should say, we ended on a very sour note last season. Honestly, the last couple seasons, if you ask me. And we didn't have Candace. If you're a Candace fan, if you're a Robin fan, which I really don't understand how you could be, nonetheless, we realized that we were not going to have Robin back this season. I don't think anyone missed Aneka, but nonetheless, we didn't really know where we were coming in on this season at. We didn't know what we were going to quite get, but it definitely seems like a redemption season for certain people. It seems like other people were trying to be painted in a different light. Like I kind of see what everybody's playing at, but I think it still was a very good premiere episode. I liked it a lot better than I liked the Real Housewives of New York City premiere last week. I will save my rating till the end, and y'all can of course let me know y'all's in the comments and everything. But yeah. I appreciate it, Kevin. I do. A lot of people have hung up this particular franchise to dry, and honestly, I can't fault that. I can't fault you guys for that. And that was honestly where I was going to come in at this season as well, if I didn't feel like we were going to be able to go in a different direction. But I whether it be for storylines to keep a check going, however you want to put it, I will say it finally seems as though certain people are coming around to hearing and to understanding what we want to see as viewers. Couldn't agree more. And yes, I miss Candace, but if I'm being 100% honest with you guys, I'm not going to sit here and hold you and say that I the whole time was sitting up here like, oh my gosh, I miss Candace. Oh my gosh, something's missing. I do still think we're going to have enough to work with, but it wasn't until it was brought to my attention on Twitter that like, oh, like, definitely missing Candace. Like, it wasn't until somebody else really brought it up that I was like, oh yeah, like I do wish that Candace was on here. We were going through her pregnancy journey with her and all of that. I definitely felt that once it was brought up, but it wasn't until it was brought up that I really like focused on it, if that makes sense. And Robin didn't even notice, didn't even care at all, even a little bit. And the same with Aneka. To be honest, have no desire to watch RHOP, especially after last season. Yes, exactly what I meant when I said a lot of people gave up on it, and I can't fault y'all for that. I cannot. Boom. Episode starts with a reenactment of Karen's DUI. I heard that Karen didn't even know they threw this reenactment in here. So yeah, there's that. And then we fast forward a month later, Gizelle's pulling up on our girl because she ain't been out the house since it happened or whatever. And she's riding over there. She got Ashley on the phone, and they're both kind of very much shocked by what happened. Ashley hadn't talked to Karen at this point either. And I found it very much on brand when Ashley was like, yeah, this is Karen's second offense. Like she placed a lot of emphasis on the fact that this is Karen's second offense. And I just because Karen is my fave, y'all, it does not mean that I'm here to cap for her or to ignore her her breaking the law. That's not what I'm trying to do at all. But it's just very funny when we see people like Ashley being the messy person to bring forth the thing that wasn't being said, which is that because some people might not remember that this is not Karen's first DUI, but this is her second, apparently. So yeah. Glad Candace is home, being that she's pregnant. I fully agree with this. Because it was really starting to take a toll on our girl, and we need to always, and the baby's health and safety is paramount. So as Gizelle's heading over there, she's on the phone, like I said, with Ashley, and she's like, she was very in shock, but overall she's going to be there for Karen. That's her friend. They go way back, and that's why she's riding over here to see what's up with her and to pry her about that house. And then we had a couple of the other ladies also saying how they felt about the situation. Mia placed emphasis on the fact that she could have hurt somebody else. That's the number one thing. And a lot of times the unfortunate thing is when people do have DUIs and accidents and stuff like that, are drinking and driving, statistics show that it's usually everybody else that gets injured and not even the person that was behind the wheel drinking and driving. So Mia wasn't wrong in shedding some light on that, but it let us know that Mia's going to have her foot right up. Karen, I hope your neck was ready. I hope your neck was ready this season. I'm sorry, but I hope it was. Question of the day: why was Ashley asked back for this season? She sucks. Because she plays that integral stirring the pot starter role. Like what I'm saying right now, she had to be the one to let us know and put that extra stank on it, and let us know that this wasn't Karen's first time. This was her second time. Therefore, she is a repeat offender. Yes. I forgot to say this. I know I mentioned it in that flop of the first go around here, but Karen, she took zero accountability. Y'all. And that was really annoying because I said it in last season's reviews that what we want to see from Karen, and I'm going to say it firm with my full entire chest right now, we wanted to see Karen take ownership. We wanted to see her lean into this. We wanted to see this episode begin with her being picked up from AA or rehab or whatever. That's taking accountability to me. And if you guys watch OC, you will see very much like the way that Shannon Bedore was getting breathalyzers hooked up in her car and came in on it, talking and being very vulnerable and stuff. And I get it. Not everybody handles situations the same. Not everybody processes situations and their emotions and their feelings the same way. I understand that, y'all. But in this situation, I do feel like Karen could have did a lot more. And that's gonna, because the way that she's approaching it is only going to further push certain people away from being on her side with it. Just saying. So Karen picks up, or then we had, didn't Wendy say something? I want to say Wendy was like, yeah, at first she was just like, oh my gosh, she okay? Then she was just like shocked through and through. So Gizelle picks up Karen, Ray sees them off, and almost right off the bat, Gizelle is like, come on, it's time to talk about it. It's time to open up. Let's go. Let's get into the conversation. And she's like, oh my gosh, like, is it trigger? Like, I don't want to go past the site of the crash. Like, is that triggering for you? Like, to go past there? Like, and Karen was like, yeah, I'd rather not. Thanks. Yeah. So we already know Gizelle is also, she's taking a different approach than Mia is, but Gizelle is also there to collect some answers. And unfortunately, she didn't get not a one. Not a one. They go to this local spot, and again, Gizelle is trying to pry, trying to understand, trying to ask her what happened, what's going on. Did you go to court yet? Karen's like, go read the papers. You know what it says. 0 answers were given. And did you guys, oh my God, so shady, but this is the type of stuff I live for when it comes to Housewives. When Gizelle was talking from the angle of like, oh, Karen, you know, you basically don't look like what you've been through. You know, you still look good or whatever. And did you guys see production zoom in on Karen's missing fingernails? Like, oh my God. The shade, the fucking shade. Oh, I loved it. And I actually accidentally looked away the first time I watched it, so I didn't even see that until the second time I watched it. So freaking funny. Remind me next week. Let me come to you guys with a picture for it, because that was a moment for me. That was a moment. I like Karen, yet not as much now. No, yeah, it's making a lot of us that were Karen fans, because you know I don't stan anybody, but Karen fans out here made us feel like, girl, like I try to be objective, and especially about something as serious as drinking and driving. And I don't know if you guys caught the point when Karen was like saying something along the lines of, it wasn't until now that she really learned the true value of life, or she values life on a whole different level now. And it was just like, it took all of this for you to begin to value life. Really? At triple 21, it took you all of this, Karen. Stop, you're not gonna pull my leg. So after not getting any answers from Karen, they talk a little bit about, or Gizelle says how she wants to throw her a birthday party, and she's going to invite all the ladies, including Wendy. We'll get into that. And then they start talking about Mia and how she's been flip-flopping all around town and out the country with her new man, and how that's probably taking a toll on the children. Like, oh my gosh, the children. And Karen's like, yeah, so you go get the tea on that situation and come back and let me know, because I actually got some real going on right now. So we'll hear more about that in later moments. Moving on. Speaking of Mia, we then see her, and we see the kids, and we also see Gordon. And by no means did I think what they revealed at last season's reunion, did I think that was going to mean that we were not going to see him. I knew that meant we were still going to see him. And we were very much also going to see probably this new boyfriend of hers, who y'all, if there's not one person on here that, like, think about how, like, we don't care to see Robin. I don't care to see Robin at all. But if there's somebody who I could care to see less than Robin, it's this man, this new man, Ink, the VJ, DJ, rapper, music exec, whoever. I have no interest in seeing this man. I just don't. And the reason why I wasn't surprised when I seen Gordon is because I knew that Mia was going to milk this storyline and she was going to get whoever she needed on board in order to make a splash, in order to stay on the show, in order to make a moment. Karen was a bunch of deflection and word salad. Yes. Mia has turned RHOP into Love and Hip Hop Potomac. Oh my, not Love and Hip Hop Potomac. Yeah, I definitely think the vibe this season is gonna, like, we've slowly been seeing it turn from the the moms of what was this, because this show was originally supposed to be about the parents, the moms of like Jack and Jill kids and stuff like that. So we completely, I feel like, left that arena to coming over to something, yeah, that resembles more like a Love and Hip Hop Potomac. So Kevin, we see each other. We see each other on that one. And that blonde hair, this king blonde hair right here, I should have known in this picture right here that she was going to piss me off with this all season long, because we saw it multiple times last night. And I just wanted to snatch it right off her head every time. Like, like, anyway, going back to the scene though between her and Gordon. She says that he's moved into her building since we've seen him last. They're doing really well as far as co-parenting. And the only thing that's not doing well, though, is now that he's living in her building, it's made her sneaky links a bit more awkward, y'all. Those are her words, not mine. And I wanted to land on this for just a moment, because it's like, girl, last time I checked, you and Ink were monogamous. This is your man. So what do you mean by sneaky links? Wouldn't that mean that now, like, he's no longer your sneaky link? Like, that's just your man. Like, the whole world knows now, including your kids. So I'm like, or are you telling on yourself right now? Because you never know. Mia be lying. You never really know with her. And it's like, so are you admitting that you're still creeping? Or like what are you doing? What are you doing here, Mia? We don't know. But going back to her and Gordon, they're in a good space. Everything that they've went through, despite it all, she can say honestly that she gave her all to her marriage. He, on the other end, disagrees, because she didn't quite completely separate them two. She didn't quite completely what's it called, end her marriage. Although she says they were separated and all that stuff, she didn't quite, there wasn't any grace period between the two. It was like boom bam. And because of that, Gordon feels like, no, you can't sit here and say that you gave every single thing. But the big thing here is that Gordon has an issue with with Ink being so involved in the kids' lives, because those are his kids in his opinion. He's a daddy, etc. Ink, on the other hand, thinks that Jeremiah is his son, so much so that he wants to get a paternity test. And because of that, I feel like that's where the line needs to be drawn. It's one thing how everything was revealed and brought to the forefront, and we'll get into this a bit more later at the party or whatever. It's only going to hurt the kids more when they see this all play out in the future, because they're going to see it. They're going to see it if they haven't already seen it now, or if like another classmate or friend hasn't told them. RHOP changed a lot from season 1. So much for etiquette. Yeah, no, it's not about that anymore. Definitely not. Mia is the poster child for a bird. Ooh, not a 305. Mia be lying for no reason. Yeah, lying to continue to solidify her position on the show is why. That's the only reason I could think of, because she brought her mama on and that was awkward to watch. Now we're talking about her marriage. Like, I don't think there's any holds barred with her. Like, she don't care. She don't care at all. So during the scene, you could see Gordon's true feelings and hurt and everything written all over his face. You could see it, y'all. And although I'm not negating what negative things he added to the marriage by any means, I can say that I feel like at this point, he's just like still not over it, over her, over the family, over whatever. And he's just going to do whatever he can in his power to still like kind of stay tethered to the situation or do whatever it is that makes her happy, which is exploitation. I'm sorry. I gotta call a spade a spade. That's how I see it, y'all. That's how I see it. Moving on, we get this small little scene with Ashley and her attorney. She claims after 4 years, she's finally ready to move forward with the divorce. She's ready to get out there for real in the dating game. We even saw these couple clips of her on dates. Didn't care about that at all. And the major thing with this divorce, though, is going to be the custody. And I'll sit here and tell you guys right now, I do not think for 1 second Michael is going to give her any fight when it comes to her wanting the kids the majority of the time. I don't think, and I'm not saying that he don't love his kids or whatever. Heaven forbid I say anything like that. But I just am saying that to say I just don't see him putting up a fight, Ashley, with that. If you're serious this time, and I say if because it's like, girl, are you only is it so far-fetched for me to assume that she's only doing this because she's supposed to be on that other dating show with like Gizelle or Luann or whoever, kind of like the Queen's Court or whatever? Like, girl, like that, because some tells me that they've had an arrangement. They've had a very much, we understand what's going on between us, what's going on, how to make it look like it's work. Like, we understand exactly what they're doing. And they found a way to finesse us as audience members and viewers, some of us, I should say, and production probably, but I'm not buying it. I'll believe it when I see the ink dried on the paper. Moving on, then we see Wendy at the Red Roof Inn. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. That was messy. I should not have said that. The only reason why I said that is because those red, like, not shutters, but like the little awnings or whatever on her house, I just didn't care for like the color of it, but that's her house. She lives there. She paid a mortgage. Then it got to do with me. I'm just saying, from a curb appeal angle, I was like, anyway, moving on. This whole scene was just about her resigning from teaching. She no longer gains any fulfillment from teaching. This has been something that's long overdue. So she's ready to type this letter up, hit send, and be done with it. And we see her do just that. And the only stone left unturned in this, at the end of this scene, is the fact that she hasn't told her mom, which Eddie was like, yeah, you gonna do that. We already know. Like, okay. Like, real funny. You gonna tell Susan, we already know. He was there to be supportive, of course. And again, we've seen her dabbling in different things, candles. She got her show coming back out on YouTube here soon. She's been getting to all these other projects. She also said that she wants to spend more time with her kids, of course. So I do still think she'll be in the political commentary space. But as far as her clocking in to teach the students of Johns Hopkins, she's no longer there. She's no longer there, y'all. Next scene we get is Karen. She is down to Vivian's boutique. We've seen Vivian quite a few times over the years, and we find out that she owns a boutique at the local mall, which Karen said local mall, not me. And I just want to know if you guys think that was messy of her to say, or was that just her, just being just talking. But she did say local mall. And from what I heard on Twitter, like, a lot of people are interested in seeing more of Vivian. She's been around the girls for seasons now. And it seems like she could have it going on down in Potomac as well. So they're eager to see her. That's just what I saw. And I honestly, I have no issues with seeing her either. All those times we saw Charisse, yeah, we probably could have been seeing Vivian, right? Like, anyway, moving on. And this is when we are introduced to the new housewife, who is Stacey Rusch. We find out that her and Karen met through Vivian. She lived in Philly. She was working at QVC, but since quitting QVC, she's moved back to the DMV. And Gizelle's which I didn't say before, Gizelle's attitude party. She brought that up earlier when she was talking to Karen one-on-one, but she wants to have this birthday party for Karen, and Stacey's invited as well. And the only thing is, Karen's concerned about this party because the last time Gizelle threw her a party, it was giving very much like a Gizelle party and not a Karen party, because Gizelle was so nestled right into the center of the group. Sounds about right. Yep. Yes. Okay, so I had it right. Wendy's YouTube channel returns October 14th, y'all. So if you're interested, go on ahead and check out her channel. I watched a couple episodes of the previous season and it was cute. It was good. Glad to see that she's still thriving over there. So they start to try on dresses, and as Stacey starts trying on dresses, and as she's trying on dresses, Karen's like, "Did you notice that her ring was missing?" And Vivian was like, "Yeah, we'll like ask about." And I feel like this was Karen's moment, or Karen. I feel like unfortunately, Karen set you up just a little bit, and I don't even think she was trying to set like you up per se, as much as she was trying to just use you to assist her and bring forth this information, whether production asked her to do it, whatever, who knows. But she shed light on the fact that Stacey's ring is not on her finger. So when Stacey comes out and Karen asks her about it, Stacey's like, yeah, she's been separated for a year. She was married to a successful German businessman for 16 years. They met on a plane, and he asked her, was the seat next to her vacant, and pretty much the rest is history. And that's of course going to be a lot of her storyline, I'm assuming. I hope so. I'm just curious there. And she also lets us know that she has an 8-year-old daughter. Karen does lend her support, and she continues to try on dresses. I'm pretty sure she that red one was the one she chose, which, you like it, I love it, girl. They cheers, and it's all laughter and smiles and hugs and everything. That is until, and I'm like, you know what, Stacey, I'm cool with Stacey as far as I can see right now. And that's because I don't know if she was purposely saying this or not, but she was like, oh my God, like, is this bothering you? Like, is this, that we're drinking champagne or whatever? And Karen was like, no, like, why would it, bother me? Like, no. And, actually, I'm not drinking because of the medication. And soon enough, I'll be indulging in libations with you pretty soon. As I have no issues with these ladies coming at Karen the way they're coming at her, because if you're going to keep playing in our faces, Karen, then I don't care. Then I'm over it. I'm over you, and I'm over it. And that's pretty much where that scene ends. Again, I'm here for Stacey so far, and she doesn't seem like somebody who's afraid to get in there and get involved in the mess, or say something that the audience is thinking, or point something out. So Stacey, I'm giving you a couple cool points right off the bat here, so don't make me go on ahead and snatch them back in a couple episodes, okay? Just saying. So Karen in everyone's business, yet no one can ask her about the DUI. Got it. Yeah, that's what it was giving. That's what it's given, Kevin. And that's exactly what I didn't want her to come in and start doing this season. I really didn't. But last scene here, y'all, is the Hatitude party thrown by Gizelle. She's setting up the room. And again, the whole gist of the party is that they're going to talk about some things. And if anybody gets an attitude, they're going to wear a hat. Which I'm like, Giselle's not the best at planning things, planning parties and stuff like that. Unfortunately, now that Candace isn't around, we're not going to see any real events being thrown, I guess. Anyway, so I was like, okay, I guess. I guess that's cute, whatever. And when Ashley comes in, another really funny point during this episode I noticed was when Ashley was going over her, what did she call it? A bounce back basket that she was gifting Karen. And she was like, yeah, I got the water bottle. I got this, got that. I got, the puzzles. I got the Uber cards. And Gizelle was like, okay, I'm glad you got them because I was going to get them, but, I didn't. That's y'all. And I hate to give her this credit because I honestly can't stand her, but this is why Ashley makes a great housewife, because of moments like that. And it was hilarious to me. The Uber cards, like, that is so funny to me because Karen, it's looking like you might not be driving for much longer. So sorry, ma'am. Gonna be calling you a lot of Ubers. So Gizelle also tells Ashley that she invited Wendy, as I said before. And in her confessional, she goes on to kind of say that since losing her father last year, she's just all about peace. And, basically, like, life is too short. You never know, when your time is up here. So on one hand, I completely understand that through and through. But on the other hand, it's like, it's Gizelle, so only time will tell. And at this point, though, in the episode, I think I can honestly say, they knew, like, everybody knew, if you wanted to be on the show, if you want this to work, if you, want to not be quote unquote threatened and hated, whatever, you need to come in at a different angle. So I think this is a part of that. Am I really going to sit here and believe that they're besties for real? Like, no, I don't think that Gizelle ever will fully like Wendy. And if I was Wendy, I would definitely feel the same way. But I think, again, they knew what needed to be done this season. I guess they chose to stick with it. So that's just the boat we're in this year, y'all. It is. And as much as, again, I hate to side with Gizelle, as much as I can't stand her and stuff like that, I can't even say anything bad about her in this episode, which is insane. Like, I can't. God. I'm gonna go scream into my pillow later. Like, anyway, we meet Jacqueline. Not Jacqueline. Jacqueline comes back. She's a friend of this season as well. And then we're introduced to Jassi. Jassi is Jacqueline's friend, apparently. And I say apparently because Jacqueline, or I should say Mia, says, like, yeah, they met through like a mutual friend and she's her kind of girl and yada, yada, yada. But it wasn't anything really too deep or of true substance that really lets me know that they're friends, like, through and through. And even if you are Mia's friend, we've seen it with Jacqueline, it don't really matter. So I'm just like, I hope you know who, I hope you know what type of quote unquote friend this is, Jassi. I hope you know. But that's who brought her into the group, apparently. And Wendy talks about how she didn't take this invitation as an olive branch as much as she took it as like her and Gizelle need to talk. And again, I'm just going to assume that it's Wendy wanted to keep her job. Wendy wanted to not keep, something negative going, I guess. so to speak. And I honestly think after the conclusion of this scene, I also think it was very much that Wendy is trying to see who she can, you know, buddy up with. Now that Candace is gone, it's like, who's going to have her back? Who, you know, is really rocking with her for real, for real. Because honestly, according to this picture, I can't sit here and say that. I mean, her and Kay, I guess, like, that was supposed to be her friend and stuff like that. But who knows if because there was a couple moments, right, where Kay last season was like looking at Candace and Wendy, like kind of like they failed her a little bit, showing up as friends. So Wendy doesn't really have like an ace boon on this show right now, I don't think. And I think I can understand why one would think that that is needed. And I honestly feel like that's why she almost was like windmilling for Mia a little bit more than I feel like she needed to, because after you toss a drink on me, like how she did you seasons prior, there would be zero, like we wouldn't have to talk about one, and I would be the last person sitting here opening my mouth to defend you. But let's wrap this up, y'all. So they start to play the game, of course, and we find out that Jassi, she's a flight attendant, or was a flight attendant. Her man, he plays for the Chiefs. So yes, she's met Taylor Swift, and yes, Wendy, you guys can talk about it offline afterwards. Whatever, who cares? What else? They play this game, and it's like Gizelle starts giving out all the hats to the ladies, because the hats are supposed to be like the names of the hats are supposed to represent the ladies or whatever. So she gives like the cowgirl hat to Ashley, which, you know, Ashley had that awesome trip last season. Don't want to talk about that ever again. And so on and so forth. And when they open it up by talking about like Karen or whatever, or opening up, Karen opens up the floor by saying, like, basically, if you ain't my down for me, if you ain't my real bitch, then you can basically kick rocks. And Mia was like, oh, okay, Karen, gangsta Karen, or whatever. And on Watch What Happens Live, I know she said that she didn't feel like anybody wasn't her friend at that table after the party and stuff like that. But again, we get zero answers from her. And I want to say it was even Ashley that asked her like some more questions about like the timeline and stuff. And she's, you know, classic Karen, can't talk about it, lawyers, this, that, you know, the whole nine. And I'm just like, Karen, you should have came back better. Like, this is the best you could do. This is really the best you can do, Karen. Karen, like, come on. Gordon's dirty laundry. Yeah. So then they dive into Mia, and much like I said earlier, Karen and Gizelle's main thing is like the kids, like save the kids, protect the kids. And they don't feel like Mia's really done a great job at that. And Jacqueline actually speaks up for Mia and is like, you know, ink is perfect for Mia. I say that first-handedly. And really, between her and Gordon, it was mainly just like a business partnership. And I'm just like, see, that is what I'm talking about. You already are saying how, or people are bringing it to your attention, like your kids, like be mindful of your kids and how it's playing out. And it's seeming like Mia's just out for self, because even right now, how do you think that's going to go over? Yeah, Jacqueline said it, but still, like, it's probably just because she wouldn't have said it if she didn't feel comfortable being able to say it in front of you, and you didn't say anything about it. Like, don't call it a business partnership, because how is Jeremiah and your kids gonna feel when they grow up and they're like, oh, like, so that was a whole bunch of nothing. My childhood was a lie, basically. Like, I don't think it's clicking with her, but hopefully it's clicking with y'all. And Gizelle calls her out for not protecting her kids at all costs. And if she did, she wouldn't have mixed the two relationships. And I'm like, God damn it, Mia, you got me siding with Gizelle again. Like, I'm so mad I'm siding with her, but damn it, Mia, you're not helping the situation. Like, she's getting all upset and stuff, talking about she filed for separation and what was she supposed to do? Just stay in a marriage. And it's just like, no, but the way you navigated it and like you were flaunting it all online, because it would be one thing if Gordon put out the information from the get-go, but you also proceeded to just continue and open up and flaunt the relationship more. Maybe you shouldn't have did that. Maybe that's what they're saying. So then Mia gets up, walks away. She's all upset. Jassi and Stacey go after her, and that's where the episode ends. But y'all, you let me know, like, whose side are you seeing this situation from? Because it's hard for me to really see it from Mia's side right now. As you guys see, she's not doing a good job of defending herself, and this season of RHOP is playing in an audience face. Notice the new cast members are simply to overshadow the colors. Yeah, we can talk about the fact that I definitely did notice that. If you guys have been watching the show, you guys know there colorism allegations in this show run hand in hand for seasons now. And we do definitely have to point out the fact that there is some more richer melanated women joining the cast this season, very coincidentally. You know, could this be to combat those allegations? I don't feel like that is too far-fetched to kind of make an assumption about. Y'all let me know how you feel about it in the comments. It would be nice for Karen to acknowledge her DUI and say, you know what? I got into a car accident and I was absolutely wrong for getting behind the wheel twice while intoxicated. She's disappointing. And hello, Jameer. Nice to have you. Thank you for joining us. You're absolutely right. That's what I mean by we wanted to see her lean into it. Maybe I was going a little overboard by saying we need to pick her up from rehab, but God damn it, like, give us something to work with. You didn't give us not near answer. And although I'll give you guys my rating now, I still would rate this episode an 8 out of 10 because I did have a good time with it. I did. I will say I wanted more from her. I really did. And I think it's because I'm a little biased because Karen has always been my fave on this cast. But like, girl, you gave us nothing to work with. And I pride myself on being objective. And I'm doing that right now, but I can't side with you on this. You're not helping your case, mama, at all. At freaking all. What else? I'm looking forward to getting into Wendy's 40th. Stacey and Karen's friendship, although she didn't say anything that made me think that there was any issues between them right now on Watch What Happens Live, it does look like Stacey's going to be the one to tell the group and Wendy that Karen said that she was self-absorbed. Wendy's self-absorbed. So I wonder what that's going to cause. If that's going to cause any friction or anything like that. And just overall, I am excited to see more of Stacey's situation. And of course, I'm always here to see our girl Kay. Excited to see her hopefully in next week's episode. But we're at 43 minutes, y'all. I enjoyed you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here because I wanted to make this 40 minutes max, and I'm already over by 3 minutes because I love to bump my gums, but I can't help it. I love talking to you guys. I love providing you guys this content. And if you loved it just as much as I did, don't forget to hit that like button, please and thank you. Also, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you hit the notification bell so you know every single time I upload. And let me know. Let's keep the conversation in the comment section below. I'll be back. I'll be back with my Real Housewives of New York, my Roni review next, followed by Salt Lake City. So we're back at it. We're down here. We're talking about all the shows. We got so many Bravo shows on right now, and I'm gonna try to be as punctual as possible. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.